Welcome everyone to our CHAOSS App Ecosystem Working Group on June 22nd, 2020. I shared the link to the minutes in the chat, so please head over there, add yourself, and let us know how you're feeling today. Neil, I see you need some ice cream.
Yeah, that will be the best right now. I just had Indian food and it's a bit spicy and it's a bit hot and it's raining outside. So yeah, I need some ice cream.
We went hiking yesterday, so we spent a lot of time outside. It was a gorgeous day, but then the best part was the milkshake afterwards.
Exactly. After a long walk, it's perfect.
Yeah. So on the agenda, we have two items. One is to continue the work from last time, but I also have a question for you all. And that is, in the grand scheme of CHAOSS, I received feedback on the name of our working group, App Ecosystem. That's fine. No one has an issue with that. It's the part working group, because in CHAOSS we have different groups working on different things. And the working groups that we have, many of them work on metric definitions. And this is not what we are doing. The closest that I've heard is people describing what we do as a user group. We try to apply metrics in a specific context as users, maybe giving feedback on metrics, maybe saying we need these metrics, but we're not actually defining metrics and including that in the CHAOSS metric release. And so my question here is, would anyone care if we renamed our group to a user group versus a working group, so that we have a better differentiation between what's a working group, what's the user group in CHAOSS?
I mean, I'm okay, although a user group is probably not accurate either. Would you say? I mean, or you got that look like, no, it is a user. You know, I don't know. Just from the way you described it.
Are there any other user? I don't have any issues to begin with, just for the sake of discussion. Are there any other user groups in CHAOSS, or are we the first? Then
yeah,
we have a badging program that is also we don't call it a working group, we don't call it a user group, it's just a badging project. But in my mind, I would like to get to a point where I can say, here are the working groups that develop the common risk, evolution, and so on metrics. And then here are the user groups, or we can call them special interest groups, or whatever we want to call ourselves, that are more focused on applying the metrics.
Yeah, I mean, I say, special interest group is good. This group is also okay.
You sound a bit distant, at least for me. So if you can come closer to the mic, maybe that would help.
Is that better?
If you speak a bit more, I might be able to tell you.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's better now.
Better now? Okay.
Yeah.
I had to adjust the gain a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it makes sense. I mean, especially for the internal differentiation, in order to help you like organize. Don't see any issue. Unless she can come up with, or we can come up with some better alternative. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd rather work with whatever's already defined. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we don't have it defined. CHAOSS is growing, and we are the the first ones to think about what should we call ourselves. So we have some leeway to say one way or the other.
Oh,
Now is our chance to define it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, special interest group are we a special interest group? We are very specific in what we want, right? It's a specific thing. So, I mean, a special interest group does sound better than a user group. See, the word user is why I had a bit of a trouble. We're not. I don't know what that means. Because when I think for us in the apps ecosystem, a user is the people who consume our software, or traditionally, and so then I think for me the words mean group or users, right? Where a special interest group seems more uh, 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 specific, better. So I don't know. That's how I look at it.
That makes sense. Yeah, Neil?
Yeah, I was thinking of alternatives. I don't know, the term focus group comes to mind, but maybe it's different.
Yeah, that's also good. Focus group.
So
Tracy will join us in 30 minutes, or 15 minutes.
perfect. So when I think of user in the context of CHAOSS, it's a user of metrics. So when we think about who is looking at metrics, and so that's what we're defining. We're defining the stakeholders, why they're looking at metrics, what they would use the metrics for. So in my worldview, they're users of the CHAOSS metrics.
I feel like consumer more, like you consume metrics, right? I don't know. I'm not to debate that overly much, but
Okay.
but I could see where you would use user. I guess it's just that those of us here we use that, we throw that name so often.
Okay.
So I'm cool with special interest group or focus group. Either one of them are fine with me. A user group is maybe a little. I mean, I can do it, but you know, I'll just feel confused every once in a while.
Yep, no, that makes sense. Thank you for the feedback. I'll take this back into the larger CHAOSS discussion tomorrow. And
I'll try to attend. It seems like you're the only one who's attending from our group. I'll try to attend if I can. So I've meant to, but I keep forgetting. So it might.
I think I've checked in the past, but it overlaps with other calls. What time? Can you remind me, Georg, what time it is? Is it the same time as this one, or?
it's 1 hour earlier than today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen you there, Neo. I think I've seen you there.
I might have joined briefly in the past. Yeah.
Yep.
It's between like finishing like the day job and starting to pick up other things. So yeah, it's dinner in between.
That's like in the midst of my other day job. I mean, day job community meetings. I only have like work meetings. I only have two, and so the rest is all community calls.
Yeah.
So,
And just to be clear, right, you don't have to join the CHAOSS community calls. It's nice if you want to, but I can certainly be the go in between and move between.
it's kind of nice to know what the rest. It gives us context when we're discussing things here because when we know, there's less explanation that you have to do on your part, right? That's the you could have more nuanced conversations than otherwise. So that's how I would look at it.
Okay. So then last time we came up with this idea to think about a specific persona and deep dive the rationale for why they have the different goals, what questions they have for reaching that goal, and what metrics they may want, and then writing a blog post or some other output from this deep dive. I don't know if we can do all of this today. That would be great, but at least get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I remember we had a discussion in the last call, and did we decide on what persona we'll go with?
We had decided yet. I think we wanted to decide this today.
Okay.
We just came up with the idea last time.
Okay.
So I'm going into the GQM document that we have.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to open now.
I can share the link here in the chat.
I
That makes
found
it
it on
easier.
the agenda. Yeah, thanks. Okay. I remember Noriji talking about a specific group. I don't know why I remember that, but I seem to recall Noriji is making some suggestion.
Or we can just idle for 10 minutes and wait for her.
No, it's okay. I just trying to remember.
She'll come in and correct all of us afterwards.
Yeah. So I think last time we went through the goals and we had two different lists and
Right.
combined them. That was the work last time.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And then we had, on one of them, we had a long explanation for having one particular goal or not having a particular goal. Maybe I had this on more than one. Like here, mentors. And so that's what sparked the idea to rationalize all of the goals, what the questions are, and then do the metrics.
Okay. So shall we pick a group?
Yeah, let's do so. So we have promotion communications team, we have the financial team, we have the community managers, the release manager, coordinators across projects, event activity organizers, mentors to choose from. If I remember correctly, event activity organizers resonates with me for some reason, as if that was what we were talking about last time, focusing on.
Could be. Which has very few goals listed under it, right? So it seems to be the most specific among the bunch here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking if there's any like logical order in order to approach these roles, like starting from somewhere and ending with something else, but I can't come up with one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a logical order or hierarchy to these different personas.
Yeah, also thinking a split between those looking outwards and those who are looking inwards into the community, but again.
Yep.
So, okay, shall we go with event activity organizers? See what we can make of that.
Yes. How about we start a new document?
That might be a good idea because this one is starting to get long.
Yes. I will start a new document and invite you. Okay, I'm gonna send Neil, Shri. I just invited you to this document. I'm gonna also make it a link share.
Yeah, and we should probably add it to the initial document as well.
Yep. I'm just gonna copy over everything we have. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen for the benefit of anyone watching the
Right.
video later. So I put together this document. I had added a header to explain what this document is.
Mhm.
I copied over what we had in our GQM document
Right.
for this stakeholder, and then I added the goals that we agreed on. So there was an overlap between the lists for these three goals.
Okay.
So
Is there like a pool of metrics that we can use when approaching this already existing in the CHAOSS community, like predefined, let's say?
there are metrics, yeah, but before we work backwards, I would like to work forward from the goals to the questions to then determine what metrics would be helpful. And then we can see if they're in the pool already and see if the pool has additional insights before we go to the pool of metrics, and then we limit ourselves to what is available there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I go for it.
nothing from me. Go ahead.
I was going to propose to remove this overlap, non-overlap between the groups, and then to go through the goals and see if these questions apply to an event activity organizer.
Okay. Let's
So
do that.
for example, on this first one, goal, retain contributors, I think the question for event activity organizers is how long do people who attend events stay in the community?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the second one is what is the level of contribution of people over time before or after attending an event? I don't know, I'm making this up. You're the expert.
I'm trying to understand how we track that anyway. Because I know one person who's sort of like that, who joined a conference and then ended up being on the board of a foundation board within like 6 months. But I wouldn't know how we would like quantify those things. I guess like we ask these questions. Do we also think about what is or like how do these things happen? Like, how do they get quantified? Other than through, you know, what's the word, polls or something.
That's a very good question, which we'll go back and we might rephrase the question to fit the data that we have. But I don't want to start with the data, because if we start with the data, then
no, that's fine. I'm only, like I said, I'm just like every once in a while I'm doing the right question because I don't know how to quantify it. Like, it's the question. It's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Response time to non-contributors, I don't think that's relevant to events. Or quality of first response, I don't think that's relevant to events.
That's true.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
hi, Noriji.
Hey,
Hello. Let me pull up the agenda.
Awesome. Do you need me to share the link?
Oh, yes, that would be great. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, we have another person also join, Armstrong. He actually works on a project I'm doing in GNOME Land for scalable onboarding. So, assuming it's the same Armstrong. So.
Hi, Armstrong. Yeah, Armstrong is a very active CHAOSS member.
Ah, okay, good.
hello.
So just to get both of you up to speed, we talked about possibly renaming the working group part, because in CHAOSS, working group is more associated with defining metrics that are being released. And at least so far, we have not gone into the work of defining metrics, but we're more looking at how we use metrics. And so just
hello everyone, sorry, I was having problem with my earpiece.
Hey, Armstrong, great to have you.
Thank you, sorry for interrupting.
No worries. And so the proposal was to either call groups like ours user groups who use metrics, or think about how we use the metrics and software from CHAOSS, or a special interest group, or a focus group to just within CHAOSS to have a more clean differentiation between what the different groups do within the community.
Makes sense. I would say maybe a focus group, since we're like focusing on a set of metrics.
Okay. So yeah, that's what we took away as well, either SIG, special interest group, or focus group.
Mhm.
So I'll take that conversation to the CHAOSS call tomorrow. And then we started working on our idea from last time to dive deep into a specific stakeholder or persona that we identified. And we looked through the list and decided to focus on event activity organizers because one, it's a fairly small use case. And for some reason, I thought this was what we last time were thinking about maybe focusing on, but we didn't write it down. And we were wondering, Ritzi, if you remembered if we had already decided on a persona.
Yeah, I think we were over time, so we were just like, let's do this. And then, yeah, that was it. So there was no consensus, but that was the one that we had identified.
Okay. And so we started the new document. We pulled in the information that we had here and started reframing the goal and questions to fit this persona. So that's the work we've been doing so far.
Thanks for catching us up to speed.
Sure. So anyway, yeah, I've been going through here screen sharing so that anyone who is watching the video later can see what we're working on. But I can also stop sharing for now and just discuss it with you and work together on this document.
So did we finish going through all the goals, or I see
No,
goal
not yet.
6. Okay, so let's see those questions.
And if someone would like to go through and just accept my changes, just so we have a little bit of review, if you don't agree, or I'll just stop suggesting, I'll just make hard edits. We still have the original text if we need it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I wonder if there's something about like tying in boss data, like how many people actually get involved in contributing, or like how many people are attending any kind of boss that is at the activity. I don't know.
Is this related to a specific goal / question or just a
Yeah.
general question?
It's just a general question about this. Like, okay, so event activity organizers, one of the things that they might be interested in measuring is like the level of contribution at events, or like how, maybe like how many people actually get started for the first time there, and then maybe like how well attended these things are over time. I'm thinking out loud right now. I'm not sure which goal it, or yeah, if it aligns to one of our goals or if it's something new.
Maybe we need to start event-specific goals.
Mm-hmm.
So Nuritzi, if you look at the bottom of the document, I added some questions based on what you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was there something else you were thinking about?
I mean, it sort of had to do with like retained contributors. And so what I was thinking is like how many people keep returning to the event as a measure of like retaining those people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I was just thinking back to the experience, and I know some people just come to GUADEC even just to, you know, like be with a significant other, or just kind of like because they're interested in the event itself, but they don't necessarily contribute to like the project regularly. And so I was wondering if there was like a difference between like repeat attendees versus repeat contributors. And that's why I was wondering if somehow we needed to factor in like, are these people doing BOFs or something? Go ahead.
I was saying could be like a metric on percentage between attendees and contributors. If we can identify them somehow.
Yeah. It could be just like a self-disclosed, like, do you contribute or have you contributed? Don't know.
Also, a good metric might be the newcomers, like those attending for the first time compared to like people that have been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I added those questions.
Good. So we have a longer list now.
The other thing that I think is important about events and activities is kind of how much publicity gets generated, or like how much is being broadcast externally. I know that oftentimes also helps attract like financial support if you're saying like we have, you know, a really strong presence in some way. So I don't know where this would necessarily be recorded again, if it would be event specific goal or if it's like a broader, like one of our other goals around social media.
So I added something on goal 6. Sorry, I don't know if I did that, but on how many companies are repeat sponsors and how many are sponsor ones. So just to know, I'm modifying that.
Yeah, right now I'm just looking through our like full set of goals from that other document, and I don't see something around social media and communications, but maybe I'm just not seeing it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think we have a goal.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a goal like how many people follow us on Twitter or anything like that. Or on a
We
social-
have the closest I find is goal 13. Make it easy for companies to choose our project software as a dependency.
Mhm.
That's the closest I see to marketing, outward communication.
I wonder if we should then make it like a standalone goal, because I do think that marketing of projects is really important, like marketing and awareness.
Okay, I'm adding
Yeah. Okay.
a goal 17.
Okay. Ooh.
Copy it to the initial list as well. Oh, you have already done. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm working on it right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have them side by side.
Thank you.
I can share my screen.
That's interesting how we didn't consider this, given how much that stuff floats around. It's like
Mhm.
you live in that world constantly.
Yeah, I like those questions you're adding, George.
Any other questions you could think of?
How often are comms shared? Or like shared a lot? Or those kinds of things?
Mhm.
Yep, good question.
Yeah, those are good.
So I'll copy this over now to our event,
Perfect.
and we can change this to event specific. So just a quick time check. We're almost
3 minutes to go.
Yeah,
Or 3 minutes to go
on
now.
time.
Okay. I just copied it over also to the other document, like where the summary of it is. So just so that we have it all. saying the same thing.
Which document do you mean?
Let me share my screen. Oh, nope, can't share my screen. Basically, if you scroll over to my, yeah, you're in it. Basically, that little summary blurb. I see your cursor next to it, Jörg.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think those are really good. I also wonder if there's something around diversity and inclusion that should be measured here. I don't know if that's like an event specific goal, or again, if it's, do we have a larger goal that deals with diversity and inclusion?
Goal 9 is, and I was
Goal
also
9?
thinking
Oh,
we
yeah.
should add this to,
Yeah.
so I added it to our document, goal 9 for the event.
Great. Yeah, perfect. Yep. Yeah, that's great. The other one maybe we add is like how many speakers or like people in kind of positions of power at the conference itself.
Could also be like a metric on like internal speakers compared to external speakers, like are not related to the community directly.
With outside speakers, do you mean non-community speakers?
Yeah, not community, non-contributors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I added
Cool.
those. So I think we have a good set of goals and questions. It ended up being more than we started with.
We chose this one because it was short.
That thing is never short.
Yeah. So for next time, next time I think it would be great to start answering the question that Sri was asking earlier with where do we get the data and the metrics to answer these questions?
Yeah. So basically do what he started to do for goal 4, number 3, like add metric.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I'll post on on the GNOME side. I've been doing the scalable onboarding thing, and so some of these things I'm trying to put into practice, I guess, so to speak, is taking this and putting this. So a lot of things like identifying what our assets are, and this might be a great thing for Neo and others to look as well. Just it's a good base, I guess, because it's not really specific to GNOME. It's just this is what we think people are interested in, or these are the people who work on our project, kind of like what they do, kind of thing. So, and I don't see that changing too much between different projects of our type.
Can you share a link to that work?
Absolutely. I'll post it on Matrix.
Awesome. With that, I think we can close the meeting, and we are going back to our regular schedule. So we meet next week.
Yep.
And then every 2 weeks again.
Yep. Sounds great.
All right.
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Hi, everyone.